Asif Qu. I'm a percussionist who specializes in Middle Eastern percussion. And in this video, I'd like to show you 3 different types of hits from the ones that we've used before in this series of videos. So please do refer back to the earlier videos to get an idea of what we're talking about. So the 3 different types of hits are, firstly, it's a hit in the Western world we call a slap, or the terminology we use is a sucker, okay? And it's played very similar to the doom sound that we make, but it's a very sharp, loud sound, and it goes like this, okay? Yeah, so it's played very, very similar. There are a few differences which I'll go over. The other sound that I want to show you how to do is one called a pop or a taka, okay? And it's where it's like a closed sound of a car. So normally a car would be played like this, okay? And the pop is played where we hold the skin of the drum and then we have a closed sound. So this is open and this is closed. And then the third one that I want to go through is a little flick that we use with our hands like this, okay? So our thumb is on and then we, okay? So those are the three sounds that we want to teach you how to make, and then we can introduce them into rhythm, and I'll show you how and where they go in. So let's look at the slap or the sucker, okay? Where we play our doom, for example, which is here, yeah, you can see that our fingers are towards the center of the drum, okay? Now, our slap, we need to form a cup, okay? So the cup isn't formed by going backwards, the cup is formed by going forwards with these knuckles here, okay? And then it's played like this. So it's doom and then a slap, okay? And that sound is made by pressing into the drum. Before I've told you that we need to bounce off. This one is, we're trying to push through the drum. This is an over-exaggeration, obviously, where we're trying to push through the drum. And we hit the drum with the pads of each one of these fingers. Not the tips, the pads, okay? So the front sides and also this side of the hand a little bit, okay? The thumb stays in. So where we have our doom, this is our slap sound. So that's our doom sound. This is our slap sound. So it's only cupped from these knuckles here. Everything else stays the same. The power, it's not a lot of power you need, but the looseness has to be in the wrist. Otherwise, we don't get it, okay? A little trick that you can use is, if you place the drum on your lap like this, place the hand where you've had your doom, cup upwards. You can see, I'm going to give you a close-up of how the cup positioning is from this side and also from this side. Okay, so you can see exactly the different position that you need to be in. So this is our cupped slap. This would be our doom, okay? This is our cupped slap. You can see the little gap in there. This is our doom, okay? So go back to there. Now, lift from the wrist. So our hands are very floppy, okay? Now, flick down, okay? And then lift. That, in slow motion, is the sort of sound and the, how can I say, the positioning that we need to make with our hand, yeah, and the movements, okay? So it's just like that. Obviously, we're using gravity, so you just drop, lift, drop, lift, drop. So this wrist needs to be so loose, so it acts like a little whip, okay? So obviously there we were using, like I said, we're using gravity, but this way we don't use gravity, but it's the same movement, exactly the same movement. Yeah, so we're using this sort of movement here, so it's there. It's not a loud sound. You don't have to make it a loud sound. All we're trying to do is when we hit the drum and take a hand away, the skin vibrates. And what we are trying to do is stop the skin from vibrating. So we have a closed sound, as we call it. So there are 3 different types of sucker sounds that we can make. One's a very soft sound, so it's just this one. Okay, so it's very, very light. The next one is slightly poppier. Okay. And the next one's really loud, so it's this sort of sound here. I'm not adding that much more power into each one of those hits. It's just how much I'm flicking. So the soft one is a small flick. The medium one is a slightly larger flick. And then the loud one is a little bit more of a flick, but not so much power. Okay? So it's not about trying to really hit your drum because you'll hurt yourself. It's more about the looseness in this wrist. And as soon as you've got it, you may at the moment get maybe about, I don't know, 1 or 2 out of 10. Okay? And when you do, register it and go, yes, that sounded really nice. And your body will go, okay, so the brain likes that. The sound is very good. So your muscle memory will start to build up on that. But also, the more you do it, the more practice you get, the more out of 10 you will get. Even for me, like out of 20, I think I made some dud ones there, but out of 20, I maybe get about 12 to 15 good ones. The other 5 are okay. You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference if I'm playing, but I can. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that happen. We can't all be perfect all the time, okay? Where do we use this sucker or slap? So, in our rhythms, you would have seen in the past videos and the notation. And the notation where we have a capital T, which is an accented one, we're accenting the rhythm to make the rhythm sing out. This is what we use, okay? Is a slap. For example, in the Ayub, where it goes dum, teka, dum, tek, which is the accented one, this is where we would use it. So it would be dum, teka, dum, slap, dum, teka, dum, instead of dum, teka, dum, tek, dum, teka, dum, tek, dum, teka, dum, tek, dum, tek, with slaps. Dum, teka, dum, dum, teka, dum, dum, teka, dum, dum, teka, dum, slap, okay? A little technique that you can think about is that when we hit, obviously your hand comes out, you're flicking, yeah, and then these pads hit and you press in, okay? You press and then you bring the hand out. So the last things to come out will be the pads. Don't over exaggerate it like you're doing this, okay? But lift, yeah? The pads will be the last thing because remember, you're moving up with this wrist and then you're flicking back, okay? So that's, for example, in the Ayub, the end tek is the accented capital, so this is where we would use it. So the next rhythm we're going to substitute it into is a 4/4 rhythm called the Maksum. A basic Maksum goes dum tek, tek dum tek, dum tek, tek dum tek. With slaps, dum slap, slap dum, slap, and dum slap, slap dum, slaps after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom slap, slap, boom, slap, boom slap, slap, boom, slap, boom slap, slap, boom, slap, boom slap, slap, boom, slap. Okay? Hand is really loose because a loose, relaxed hand here gives you a heavier hand, so you don't have to put so much power into it, okay? So now, how do we fill it? So previously in the Maksum, we've done like a walking variation, okay? And it goes from dum tek ka, tek dum ka, tek. This one would be dum slap, ka slap, dum ka slap. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and dum slap, ka slap, dum ka slap, dum slap, ka slap, dum ka slap, and dum slap, ka slap, dum ka slap, dum slap, ka slap, dum ka slap. Okay, so again, in the set of 4, we can use a fancy end as well that we've used previously. And so the last one for this walking variation would be dum slap, ka slap, dum ka tek slap. Yeah? So the little thing that we can practice to get us into that fancy end would be dum ka tek slap, and 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 dum ka tek slap. Last one, and dum ka tek slap. Okay? It's going to be very, very difficult if you've built up your muscle memory into playing a tek here, because your hand will want to come back here to this tek. So take your time, go very, very slowly, and use a rhythm that you're quite accomplished in playing. If you want to add anything on, anything, like for example in the 5-hit rolls that we've done before, with the racketeks that we've done before, these new hits that we're putting in, use a rhythm that you really, really accomplish with, and then it's easier to add these things in because you don't have to think about the rhythm too much in any type of drumming, okay? If you're adding something on, use something that you're quite accomplished in, and then you don't have to think about the actual thing that you want to try and do, but you need to think about the actual new thing that you want to do, okay? So we can put the bridges in if we want to, and for the walking variation would just be a car, okay, as the bridge. So after 4, we'll play it, the walking variation with slaps in a set of 4. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, slap, ka, slap, boom, ka, slap, ka, slap, ka, slap, boom, ka, slap, ka, boom, slap, ka, slap, boom, ka, slap. Fancy end on this one. Slap, boom, ka, taka, slap, boom, slap, ka, slap, boom, ka, slap, ka, boom, slap, ka, slap, boom, ka, slap, ka. Slap, ka, slap, boom, ka, slap, ka, boom, slap, ka, slap. Okay, so that's adding with a walking variation. If you want to do it without a regular filled maxim, which we've done previously, the little fill that we need to practice is tekka slap, tekka slap, and 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 tekka slap. Heavy hand, tekka slap, nice and relaxed, tekka slap, and tekka slap, and tekka slap, and tekka slap. Okay? So it will go from dum tek, tekka tek, dum tekka tek, to dum slap, tekka slap, dum tekka slap. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap, and boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap, and boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap, and boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka. We'll play 4 more. Boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap, and boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap, and boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap. Last one. Boom, slap, tekka slap, boom, tekka slap. Okay, so again, we can add in our fancy end, okay, and our fancy end again for the last maxim, that would be dum slap, tekka slap, dumka tekka slap, okay, and our fills as we've used previously, would be teka. Okay, so let's put this in a set of 4. So after 4, we will play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, and 1. Teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom. Fancy end, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap. One more set, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka, slap, boom, teka, slap, teka, boom, slap, teka. Fancy end and finish. Okay, so again, take it very, very slowly. Then build up the speed. If it goes and you want to go back to these texts on the accents, stop, start again, and add these slaps in. Okay. A nice little practice that I like to use with these is like the Queen thing. Okay, Queen the band, and it goes doom doom slap, doom doom slap, doom doom slap. Okay, because it gets you to practice moving your hand positioning from dooms to slaps. Okay, so from dooms to slaps, dooms to slaps. So it'll go doom doom slap, doom doom slap, doom doom slap, heavy hand, and boom boom slap, and boom boom slap. Last one. Okay, so it's just something that can help you just to get this muscle memory going and the hand positioning. Okay, this will be a thing that will annoy anyone else that's in the house. Okay, because it's a thing where when you're trying to play these, you're just going for it, and people in the house will go, "What are you doing?" Okay, and annoy them and play this slap because it's really, really cool. Okay, so another hit that we can use instead of a slap is a thing which is a closed car called a pop or a teka. Okay, so where our car is like this, and again refer back to the previous video, the video number 1 in the series. It'll show you how to play this car. Yeah, relaxed sound. Nothing happens, nothing else happens with this car when we play the pop, except we put our thumb on the drum. So we rest our thumb. Rest, we don't hit the drum with our thumb, we rest it. Okay? And it's a closed sound, so it's a closed car. So if we play an open one, closed one. Okay? Open, closed. Okay? We don't want to make a secondary sound when we put our thumb on. So we don't want, okay, we want to do, okay. It helps sometimes just to slide that thumb in, okay? So we just slide it in. And also, you have to make sure that our thumb is placed exactly. We have a little bit of margin of error because we're using this whole part of the thumb here to go there, to play this sound, yeah? Another way that you can play it is to use this part of the hand. So we cup here, is we have a margin of error, okay? When you get a little bit accomplished, you can just start to use the index. Okay? And how do we substitute this in? Again, it's in exactly the same place as the slap that we just used. This type of sound is generally used when we are playing with other musicians, okay? And they are unamplified. Because if we were playing, for example, this slap sound while we've got a oud player, which is a string instrument, you would totally drown out what the oud is trying to play. Okay, so this is where we use a nice little pop sound, so we're not really overtaking the sound of the other instruments that we're playing with, and it becomes very, very nice and subtle. So a little practice that we can do to practice between the ka and the pop is a little mantra thing that we can do, which is ka place pop, ka place pop, ka place your thumb, pop, ka place your thumb, ka place your thumb, ka place your thumb. Okay, ka place pop. Okay, and then as you get more accomplished, you want to try and do the placing and then hitting the ka to make the pop sound together. So it's ka, pop, ka, pop. So I'm trying to do this together. Ka, pop. Second, no secondary sound. Can you hear that secondary sound? We don't want that. Yeah. So we're just coming in. Ka, pop using the cup. Ka, ka, pop, ka, and pop, ka, and pop, ka, and pop. Back to the thumb. Ka, and pop. Last one. Ka, and pop. Yeah. So you want to try and get it to this sort of speed. So I'm doing ka, pop, ka, pop, ka, pop, ka, pop, ka, pop, ka. So that's the sort of speed you want to try and get up to, so you know that you can play that pop in a very, very quick way without making that secondary sound. Okay? So putting the pop into the maksum, the rhythm that we used just previously, would be from dum tek, tek dum tek, dum tek, tek dum tek, to dum pop, pop dum. I've slowed it down and pop a little bit. Dum pop, pop dum pop. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, dum pop, pop dum pop, dum pop, pop dum pop, dum pop, pop dum pop, and dum pop, pop dum pop. For more. Dum pop, pop dum pop, dum pop, pop dum pop, dum pop, pop dum pop, dum pop, pop dum pop. So now we'll add in the pops into the walking variation of the maksum with a bridge and a fancy end. So the fancy end for the walking variation would be dum ka teka pop, dum ka teka pop. So this is where the ka pop becomes very, very important in the practice that I showed you before, because playing this very slowly goes dum ka teka pop and dum ka teka pop. Okay, and the fancy end. So it goes dum pop, ka pop, dum ka teka pop. Okay, so it's really, really important to get that going. So this little practice here, ka pop. Okay, so after 4, we'll add the pops in to a walking variation with ka bridges and a fancy end. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, pop, ka, pop, boom, ka, pop, ka, boom, pop, ka, pop, boom, ka, pop, ka, boom, pop, ka, pop, boom, ka, pop, ka, boom, pop, ka, pop. Fancy end. And again. Boom, pop, ka, pop, boom, ka, pop, ka, boom, pop, ka, pop, boom, ka, pop, ka, boom, pop, ka, pop, boom, ka, pop, ka, boom, pop, ka, pop, and finish. Okay, so you need to build that up until you get to a certain speed, okay? As fast as you can go, really, because it sounds absolutely gorgeous. So the next one that we want to add it into is where we do a tekka pop fill in the Maxoom. Tekka pop, and tekka pop. Tekka pop, boom, tekka pop. Okay, so that's one that we want to try and do, which is again a really, really nice fill. So you're trying to build up all of this, all of these rhythms into your repertoire and into your muscle memory. Okay, so in a set of 4, we would use a tekka as our fill. So the thing that you want to practice is tekka pop and pop and tekka pop and tekka pop, tekka pop, tekka pop, tekka pop, and tekka pop. Okay? So adding the tekka pop fill into a Maxoom in a set of 4 with a tekka bridge and a fancy end. Okay? We'll take it very slowly and it will be after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, and again, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, fancy end, boom, ka, tekka pop, and again, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, boom, tekka pop, tekka, boom, pop, tekka pop, and finish. Okay, so again, we take this very, very slowly and build up the speed until you've got a really, really good pace going and your hands basically know what to do. So the next hit I want to show you is a flick. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes the little finger comes in, but I think sometimes for me, it might work for you. The timing for me goes on this, okay? So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So it flicks off the heel of the hand there, okay? And this part of the thumb rests on the drum, okay? The 4th hit is this car here, and you will notice when we play it, so it goes 1, 2, 3, pop, 1, 2, 3, pop. Yeah, is that last car becomes a pop, as in the previous hit. So it goes. That's really fast. So it goes da 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 pop. So flick, flick, flick. Index, middle, ring. Index, middle, ring. Index, middle, ring, pop. 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 So it's like a different type of roll. A little bit like a rack attack, but it's played here. It's a really, really nice accent that we can play. And again, it gets substituted in where we have a tekka. So it goes tekka. See it? Tekka. So wherever there's a tekka, we can play this, which is very similar to a raka. Yeah, so it goes. Okay? So the rhythm I'm going to use to show you, to demonstrate, and for you to practice these flicks is in the Wata Kabira. And the thing that we need to practice is taking our thumb off when we played the flick. Okay? So the thing that we need to practice is flick, ka, flick, ka, 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 and then flick, ka, flick, ka, flick, ka, and then flick, ka. Slowing it down. Slowing it down, it'll be and flick and da 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 flick faster and and last one. Yeah, so it's this. You're flicking off these heels. It's a hard thing to do, I know, but you'll get it. So putting it into the Wata Kabira, it'll go dum, tek, tek, dum, dum, tek. It'll go dum, flicka, flicka, dum, dum, tek. So after 4, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Dum, ka, ka, dum, dum, tek. And dum, ka, ka, dum, dum, tek. And again, dum, ka, ka, dum, dum, tek. And dum, flick, ka, dum, dum, tek. One more. Dum, ka, ka. We'll play one more after this one. Tek and dum, ka, ka, dum, dum, tek. We can also use the flicks in the bridge. So it'll go dum, flick ka, flick ka, flick dum, dum, tek. So we can also use the flicks as a bridge. So it'll go dum, flick ka, dum, dum, tek. Flick ka, dum, flick ka, dum, dum, tek. No bridge. Okay, so after 4, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, dum, ka, dum, dum, tek, ka, dum, ka, dum, dum, tek, flick ka, dum, ka, dum, dum, tek, ka, dum, ka, dum, dum, tek. And again, and dum, ka, dum, dum, tek, ka, dum, 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 tek. And dum, ka, dum, dum, tek, ka, dum, and dum, dum, tek. 2 more, so one more set. Dum, ka, dum, dum, tek, ka, dum, 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 tek. Okay, so that is how we play flicks. So we have 3 new hits, which is a slap, which is a pop, and also these little flicks. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you soon in our next set of videos. Take care. Thank you. Bye.